Good evening, Kenton community. My name is Sabatino Samato. I'm your superintendent, and this is your weekly connection. So fasten your seatbelts. We're going to go kind of quickly this evening. We'll talk a little bit about a new testing program that we have going on in the district, as well as test kit distribution that I had mentioned during our board meeting this past Tuesday. That update about masks that I sent out just the other evening. And also we'll round off with our school highlights. We'll have our recognition for this week, and then we'll finish off with our Black History celebration. So let's get going. First, our returning to class testing. Now, what does that mean? We've had a lot of different testing within the district, and we're always trying to come up with new programs to make sure that we're helping to keep our children in school, and this is no different. We've had Test to Stay, and remember, Test to Stay is only for those close contacts in our schools that are unvaccinated that would otherwise have to quarantine. This is something different. Anytime during the day, our children can maybe from time to time feel sick. And during these COVID times, if they had any type of mild symptoms, the protocol would be that parents would have to pick up our students, our children, and have to bring them to get tested. Well, what we're going to do is implement an actual test in the nurse's office if a parent agrees to help mitigate having to send a child home. Now, this is only for mild symptoms, folks. So we're talking about if a child has a mild headache, if a child says that their tummy hurts. Instead of a parent having to come get them, if the parent agrees when the nurse contacts you, we can administer a COVID antigen test right there in the nurse's office. And if the child is feeling better and that test is negative, the child can stay for the day. Now, let's not confuse this. Outside of the realm of COVID times, if a child came down and a child is getting sick, a child is vomiting, a child has a fever, the child will have to go home. That remains the same because we want to make sure that the child is being seen by their pediatrician. But in COVID times, when we've had any type of mild symptoms where a child typically wouldn't get sent home, many times a child would have to go home and get a negative COVID test. This will help our parents to not have to leave work for those mild cases, not have to leave home to come and get a child and bring them to a pediatrician. We're going to try this out as a next step, and we'll see. Hopefully, we're going to have good success with this. This is not tons of numbers of students. This is only for students in those small situations. Folks, I don't want anyone to get confused. If a child is not feeling well, if a child is symptomatic, if a child has a fever before the school day begins, the child should not come to school. That exists during COVID times. That exists regular times. Please make sure as families, that's our partnership, that you're still helping with that. And we're going to continue to find ways to help us come out of this pandemic. We always knew coming out of the pandemic would be more difficult than coming into it. But this is one of those ways that it's going to help all of us, especially our families. So that will begin this Monday. Also, test kit distribution. I mentioned at the board meeting the other night, be prepared next Thursday and Friday. We're going to be sending test kits home with our students. And it'll come with instructions. Now, Governor Hochul mentioned the other day about her testing initiative coming back from break. This will align with that, but we were going to do this anyway. I want every student, every family to have some tests in their hands for their children going into the break, coming out of break. And so we will get further clarity on what the requirement is with this. And we will send those directions home with the students when we send those home with all of our kids next Thursday and Friday. So be prepared for that. And as a masking update, unfortunately, we did receive that news that we're still in a holding pattern, but we are finding out more and we are being updated further. So stay tuned for that. Nothing has changed since the letter that I sent out on Wednesday evening. So I want our families just to be prepared as we go into the break. We know that we'll learn more coming out of the break. The governor made that very clear. So we're going to see how that continues to unfold. Thank you very much for your patience, folks. And we are coming out of this. We can see that light at the end of the tunnel. Let's continue to support each other and do everything that we can. An update on our Jerry Starr Sleepout, our 35th annual ETC Jerry Starr Sleepout. We held it last Friday. We did absolutely have Many people attend. If you look at the connection this week, you could see all of our dignitaries, all of our people from our community that came out. This was a very special sleep out. Last week we had, and we learned of the tragic news of long time dedicated Kenton community member Mike Colmar had passed away. We spent a lot of time at that Jerry Starr Sleepout, really remembering all the dedication that Mike has had to the Sleepout over the years and to all of us in the community. I wish to thank everyone for that success of that event that evening, and really to focus on what the point of that evening was. So it's always how we give back as a Kenton community. So thank you to everyone in attendance, and thank you for all those who continue to donate. Our school highlights this week, you'll see that big picture is highlighted. Hoover Middle, Kenmore East, Kenmore West, and both Kenmore East and Kenmore West are highlighted in the connection this week. So make sure you read up on those highlights. Our recognition. Great recognition. We learned this during the board meeting the other night. Our girls ice hockey team won the Section 6 championship on Tuesday with a 4-3 win over Williamsville. The team now moves on to the state championship, which will take place this weekend in Canton, New York. The previous day, they also became the very first team, I like this award even better, to earn the Sportsmanship Award presented by the Western New York chapter of the National Ice Hockey Officials Association. This is the first year this award has been presented to a team based on voting by Western New York ice hockey officials, and it is a tremendous honor to be the first team to receive this distinction. Please join me in congratulating the team along with Coach Jeff Orlowski and the entire coaching staff for their outstanding achievements. We wish them luck this weekend. Put your game face on. Ice hockey, it is where it's going to be this weekend. Congratulations to our team. Additionally, we're very extremely proud to learn that our athletic director, Mr. Brett Banker, will be awarded the National Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association, NIAAA, State Award of Merit in March. This is the highest distinction that can be presented by the New York State Athletics Administrators Association, the organization that represents athletic administrators across New York State. Mr. Baker has served as the Kenton School District's Director of Health, Physical Education, Recreation, and Athletics since I was in high school back in 1992. That's how long Brett has been here and been dedicated to the Kenton community, overseeing nearly 50 sports, as well as all physical education programs and health education curriculum, school nurses, medical operations, facility rentals, and wellness initiatives across the district. He remains one of the most distinguished high school athletic directors in the nation. In 2021, the NIAAA chose Mr. Banker to be one of only 30 athletic directors out of approximately 12,500 nationwide to spend the year in the NIAAA Cohort Leadership Program. He also served as president of the NYSAAA, which is the NIAAA affiliate organization in New York State. Please join me in congratulating Mr. Banker on this professional achievement. Brett always continues to amaze us. Thank you, Brett, for your dedication to our students, to our Kenton community, and to your years of outstanding service here in Kenton. And finally, celebrating our Black History Month as we continue this month, our month-long celebration of Black history. We have chosen an extremely influential local musician and educator to highlight, Mr. Jerry Livingston. Mr. Livingston, who plays bass guitar, is best known for his work with music legend Rick James and has played, toured, and recorded with hundreds of music artists. He is known as one of Western New York's greatest musicians and is a member of the Buffalo Music Hall of Fame. For much of his life, Mr. Livingston was also a music teacher. He taught music at several Buffalo area schools and currently teaches bass at Villa Maria College. Mr. Livingston brought his teaching skills to local music stores, including Kenmore Music on Delaware Avenue, where he taught many Kenton area children and teenagers. He also volunteered extensively at local churches, including a program at Mount Ararat Temple of Prayer, which had a tremendous impact on children and teens in the community. Many of the most talented bass players to emerge from Western New York had Mr. Livingston as a teacher, but even those who did not pursue careers in music remember Mr. Livingston and credit him with their personal growth and future success. And from personal experience, Mr. Livingston, the importance of music education in schools is paramount. He has always stated that. I've always heard him say that. He states, music is a healer. He said, recounting stories of countless young people whose lives he saw turned around by music, music heals for everyone. And I've always come to know that of Mr. Livingston, and he's just another local example of our tremendous history here in our Buffalo area, and especially how he has touched the lives in Kenton. Thank you, Mr. Livingston, for all of your dedication. And folks, that's where we'll finish this evening. And just like Mr. Livingston, the way that he has been such a tremendous influence on our community, we will continue to influence our community together. We will continue to make Kenton grow and be stronger. We are proud. We are strong. We will keep Kenton moving forward because I'm confident that we are smart enough to face these challenges together, and together we will continue to come out of this pandemic. Thank you so much for your dedication. I absolutely look forward to our final week before our midwinter recess, and enjoy the Super Bowl this weekend.